All right, welcome back to the channel. So my name's Trevon Tate. I am now with Century 21. I had to switch it up a little bit. I work in the DFW area now, so if you're looking in Dallas, Texas, Austin, Texas, Fort Worth, anywhere in that region, feel free to check the description. You'll find my contact information and just reach out. So today we're talking about the high school dropout turned real estate tycoon. Let's get into the video. All right, so who is Roy Carroll? Roy Carroll is the founder of Carroll Companies, active in real estate development and construction. Carroll started developing family homes in the 1980s and later also started developing commercial real estate. Being very successful, the company has constructed and owns more than 15,000 apartments and more than 2,000 homes. Carroll is one of the largest landowners in North Central region of North Carolina, known as the Piedmont Triad or Piedmont Triad. Probably butchered that, but you know what I mean if you're from there. Carroll's group companies include Alaris Homes, Carroll Investment Properties, and Carroll Campus Development, and the Be Safe self-storage units. So I've seen those Be Safe facilities, so pretty cool, and that's kind of interesting. Sometimes it's a small world, and that's funny that I stumbled across this guy in an article, and yeah, I've seen those all around. And yeah, self-storage that's a great way to start investing, great way to own property, and great way to make some revenue. So Warren Buffett looks for great companies and doesn't trade a lot. That's our philosophy in real estate. Let's find a good location and keep it. Why sell the golden goose? It's a strategy Carroll's actually been testing out since he was a kid. When he was 14, he bought an 800 square foot house in Danville, Virginia using $1,000. Which obviously today that's a lot more money, but even then, yeah, it's not as easy, but there's still ways to get into homes. It's just about knowing what steps you need to do, just because everybody's got a different story. It just depends on where you're at financially, mentally, and then you just got to meet the right people, get a good agent, or if you're trying to get into commercial, make sure you get a commercial agent because the two markets are very different, very different. Today, that $1,000 would be equivalent to about $5,000. So he saved that money up. He started, returning bottles, selling candy, basically whatever he could do to get the money. He fixed the place up and sold it a year later using the profits to buy a Ford Mustang that he wasn't even old enough to even drive. A quote from Carroll: "The parallels between 2007 and '08 and today are very, very similar. I'm trying to put every dollar I can on the sidelines today." And that's not the first time I've heard that from real estate tycoons or real estate investors. A lot of these gentlemen, they like to be cash ready. That way they can go in these struggling markets or struggling areas, and people that have been kind of waiting to sell their home or waiting to sell their property or their land or their commercial property, they're ready to sell it now at this point. So they'll get basically these homes or this land for pennies on the dollar or for 30% under market value. But that's the way you gain quick equity and quick value in real estate. It's harder said than done because the markets are always going up and down. But there's definitely a way to do this. I mean, the market we have right now, you can go find some homes, get that home 50 to 60 under asking price, maybe more, even have the sellers pay for closing costs. If you do this in an area where there's potential future growth, there's a lot of potential to make some good profits on the end. In my experience, so I'm an agent. Now I don't have the same experience as Roy Carroll. Obviously, I'm only freaking 29. But in my view of what's going on, as far as 2007, 2008, mortgage lenders, they were just letting anybody with a heartbeat basically get a home. I mean, homes that they knew that these people wouldn't be able to pay and they knew they'd foreclose on. In the position we're at now, it's really hard to get a home loan. So it's actually kind of keeping people from actually buying, or it's keeping everyone from actually buying. I don't see the same thing happening as far as 2007, 2008, but there definitely is a potential for inflation to keep rising, right? Interest rates, they might keep rising potentially, right? We don't have a crystal ball, but if they keep rising, it will still make it more difficult to own a home. Especially if you're a first-time homeowner, or especially if you don't have a lot of savings or don't have a lot of cash on hand. Main thing is, if you have questions, just speak to a lender, right? And don't just speak to one, because one might be in a bad mood that day and not really want to do all their due diligence for you. But then there are some that will, cross mountains for you and not legally, but they'll try to get you in the best position to go purchase a home. Or there's certain programs that you can join to go purchase a home. There's a lot of avenues, so just ask questions, and that'll be the easiest way and best way for you to gain information. That way, when it's time and when you really want to buy, you can execute the best possible way. So nearly 5 decades later, Carroll has built a $2.9 billion fortune, largely made up of real estate, including more than 13,000 apartments, 29 self-storage facilities, as well as an industrial land and mixed-use projects. That Mustang he bought now, he parlayed for a collection of yachts and Ferraris, including one that raced at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, or Le Mans. However you say that, I probably butchered that.
You can't even read.
All right, so the moral of the story is there's tons of ways to get real estate, and you just have to ask questions and put yourself in the position to execute when the time is ready. There are ways to start owning property faster than you think. And once you get one, that's just the beginning. Really, just make sure you save up a little bit, or maybe even go in with a partner. You never know, right? You just have to talk to people, engage out there. But don't let a few things holding you back keep you from at least making a forward move. Because I don't know where the bottom is, but I sure know that we're not at the top anymore, considering where the real estate market was a year and a half, 2 years ago, when homes would go in seconds, 70, 50K over asking, or even more, right? And considering where the market is now, it's really a great time to start hunting, or at least reach out to people, ask for deals. There are certain people that have been waiting to sell their home, and they bought their home 15 years ago, so they definitely have value in it, but they're not going to get what the market's or what they thought they were going to get in this current market. So you just got to reach out. Of course, every market is different, so make sure you have someone that's specialized in that area, and the sky is the limits. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. I'll probably dial back on the home tours on this channel just because that wasn't really engaging as many people, just because it's obviously one home and there's millions of homes. So maybe the spreading of information will be more valuable. But that's going to be it. I'll catch you guys on the flip side later.
It's free real estate.